Hi guys, welcome to Self Made. It's your host, the one and only Nash.
It's your boy Andres.
You don't know it's a king.
And today's topic we'll be discussing what does it mean to be a good friend. Um, Keem, would you like to start us off?
Yeah, the good friend. Yes, the good friend shall start. Good friend, good friend, good friend. Good friend, I think, to be a good friend, you're loyal. You accept the person you're friends with for who they are, like not only in good times, but bad times as well. I think good friends are also honest. You know, tell that friend what they needed to hear, whether they're not being a good friend themselves or just give them the hard truth, you know, and you, you have to be trustworthy and all that, communication, you know, all those things. That's what I think.
I hear you on that. Um, so like if you had a fallout with one of your friends, right? Does it mean that that friendship is over, or would you work towards bringing that friendship back, or would you just end it just because of what was discussed?
Honestly, it all depends on the relationship. It all depends on the relationship and how it has been progressing over the years or months or whatever.
That is true. Well, from my point of view, like I agree with you with like the loyalty, but also includes like communication, understanding, and not being afraid to like be able to accept like criticism. You have to be able to accept it. Because if you're not able to accept it, then what's the sense of you having a friend? A real friend, a good friend, is supposed to tell you what you're doing bad versus what you're doing good. Because anyone that you're talking to is gonna say, "Yeah, you're doing good," but it's actually like the complete opposite. So yeah, no, like serious talks. They'll tell you to go and deal with whatever you gotta deal with. Be like, yeah, man, you got this, you got this. But then your friend is just like, nah, like what you're doing is stupid. What are you doing that for? And you're gonna get vexed. And then you're gonna be like, yo, you're not a good friend. But if I wasn't a good friend, would I tell you this? Yes or no? Alright then. Right, Andres?
But
Yeah,
sometimes the advice they're giving is not necessarily the right advice.
Yeah. Advice is only good sometimes, when it comes
Mm.
to friendly advice. It's good sometimes, but you gotta listen to your own most of the time.
I mean it's one of those things that people aren't gonna tell you if you're being a good friend. They're all gonna tell you if you're being a bad one. Like people aren't gonna give you feedback when you're being a good friend. They're just gonna tell you when you're being a bad one. And back to what you said, I agree with what you said. You have to be able to take criticism if you're gonna be the one giving it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Fire.
What's
100%.
your take on a good friend, Nash? What do you think?
I swear I explained it. Alright, alright. On a good friend, it is based off of like, well, I have had a friend for almost what, nearly a decade. I've known you guys long. I've known you guys long too, but like one of my closest friends, I've known her for a long time. Um, we have our ups and downs, but like if I have an issue or a problem that I can't really like discuss or like feel comfortable talking about, I have to talk about it, no matter how much it may hurt me or make me feel uncomfortable. I need to talk about it because if I don't, then the problem won't get resolved. So I'm glad that when I am feeling down, when I am like at my lowest point, I have someone that's there in my corner where
Is
they're
is
looking out for me.
is that a
Like
girl or a guy?
it's a girl.
Oh,
Yeah. And then like with the boys, right? The boys are always there for me regardless. Like even when I am like at the lowest point where I feel like I don't have no one or whatever, you guys are always there to be like, yo, like you're okay, like don't worry. Like chill, talk, we'll go out, we'll go do something, you know? Like just to take off that stress or whatever
Yeah.
I'm going through. Just
Strip club, I like.
to, What yo, Richard? No, Brett, no. A good game of FIFA, FIFA 22,
Oh my god, what
FIFA
the?
21, even though I get mashed up because I'm not a good FIFA player, but yeah, stuff like that where it's just you go to your friends and then just let them know what's going on in your life because some things you just don't want to go and talk to your parents about. You can talk to your friends about, and maybe they have more experience in that department than your parents do because a parent will always be your parent, but like your friends will understand what you're going through because they're the same, like in the same age group as you, and are possibly going through the same thing as you. So you guys could talk about it and get a better understanding as to what you guys are going through and how to solve it if it is a serious issue.
Yeah, I think for me is I'll mix with what you guys said. For me is like loyalty and trust will be like the number one thing. If I can't trust you, I ain't telling you anything.
Mhm.
So I'm not gonna count with your advice because there's not gonna be an advice if you don't know anything that's going on in my life, and I won't tell you if I feel like I can't trust you. No, I ain't telling you nothing. But other than that, like, I feel like it's pretty much like it's simple and not at the same time. It's like the usual like respect, but at the same time, it's like respect is earned. So it's like if you respect me, I'm gonna respect you, and that's it. Leave it at that. Other than that, like it's pretty simple to be a good friend. It's just to be there through like the hard times rather than always in the good times. Because I've had people like that. I have people
Oh yeah.
that it's like they're only there when you have moments of like I guess when you're up, but when you're
And
feeling
then when you're
down,
down, yeah, they're
ain't
not there for
nobody
you.
to be found.
Mhm.
And that's not what it's about. It's the opposite. People are supposed to be there for you when you're at your lowest. If they're there when you're your highest, great. But if they're not, as long as they're there when you're at your lowest, that's what counts.
But I'm not gonna lie though, like when you're at your lowest and like you call like that good friend, right? And they don't answer, doesn't it make you feel away? But like when they're going through something, you're always like the first one to answer the call, and be like, "Hey, what's going on? Is everything okay?" Versus how they are towards you. And then they could be like, "Oh, but I'm busy." It's just like, yeah, but if you're busy, you could still answer the call and be like, "Hey, yo, I know like I'm busy right now, but like, is everything okay? Is everything all right? Yeah, no, okay. Um, could I call you back in a bit when I get home and then we'll talk about it, whatever, whatever. You know? Something like that, but I feel like some friends, even though you guys are good friends, some people don't prioritize that into their friendship slash relationship.
Yeah, no, I do get
Oh
that
yeah.
because I do feel that way, but it's one of those things as well that is like if I call you and you don't answer, but you hit me with like a text saying like yo like right now I'm doing something, I'm dealing with something, I'm gonna call you back in like a bit. Then
That's reassuring.
if I get that back, then I'm cool with that. Like
Hmm.
I don't expect people to answer right away because I know people have stuff going on anyways. But if I answer and nobody sends me a text or a call, I'm just like, all right, bet. But it's like if you hit me with the text and it's like, yo, I'll call you like in an hour or whatever, then all right, that's to me that still means that you care. So to me that still shows that you're a good friend.
Hmm. But like if I'm calling you, call you two, three times, and then like couple hours down the line, I don't get no response from you. And you're like, oh, sorry, I couldn't call you because my phone. No, 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 that's a lame ass excuse. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
No,
that's
You ain't
I
hear
true.
don't.
back from
I'm
me.
not like that at all.
No, no, no.
Like if
For
I
me,
call you and answer, then I don't feel noise.
I don't feel no ways, but I'm just not gonna answer when you call me back because I'm already dealing with what I'm dealing with now. I'm dealing with it by myself. So if you're calling me, you're like, oh, hey, what's going on? Nothing. I'm just gonna be dry like saltfish.
What?
The guy said he's gonna do the Uno reverse.
Yeah, man.
Do you guys have anything else that you guys want to add?
No, just other than just communication, loyalty, and try your best to be there for your friends, even if you are going through something. Like, let them know at least what you're going through. Versus, like, if they call and, like, you want to talk to them and they're not available to talk, just let them know on both sides what's going on so you guys get an understanding in verse instead of getting into a conflict about it and then losing a potential friendship.
Yeah, I agree. I will have to say as well that if someone is not being, I guess not being there for you, but you care about that person, and because some people don't like Akeem, like you think he feels no ways, but like if I
Cut
feel
it
away,
off.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be like, yo, like this is what's going on, like if.
Cut it off.
But it's different when it's somebody who you grew up with, though. You're not gonna cut out your friends that you grew up with. But you gotta be honest with them
That
first.
is true
What if,
still.
because if they have something going on their end that you don't know about, because maybe they have a hard time communicating, you're not
Mm,
just gonna jump the gun and just cut them off your life like that.
yeah, that is true.
Akeem, any final thoughts?
I think you guys hit all the top points.
All right, well, that pretty much wraps up this episode. So this concludes the last episode of the first season. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. Follow us on Instagram, Spotify. We also want to thank everybody for tuning in for the first season. We are obviously aiming high for the second one. We're coming up with a new concept, which you guys will see very shortly. But yeah, other than that, it's been your host, Andres.
The one and only Nash.
You don't know is Akeem. Gracias, mamacitas, and migos.
Oh, God. Yeah. All right, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Look more.